First up, the United States, Abraham Lincoln formative years. In Indiana, 2009 large date, with D-Mint mark coin begins long before it ever became a collectible treasure in the modern market. This coin represents the second design in the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series, issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the 100th anniversary of the original Lincoln, sent the formative years, designed specifically honors Lincoln's youth spent in Indiana, where he lived from age 7 to 21, commitment to reading and self-education, symbolizing the balance between labor and learning that define articles tension, especially when connected to circulation, found specimens in fine condition that survived years of wear, but retained their historical charm. The mintage for the 2009 and AMD formative years sent reached well over 300 million pieces, making it common in worn grades. However, collectors do not seek this coin for rarity in low-grade condition. They seek it for unique die characteristics, subtle errors, striking anomalies, and the nostalgia attached to the special Bicentennial Series during the year of its release. These coins entered circulation alongside normal Lincoln Memorial cents, and millions were spent, saved, rolled, and forgotten. Today, the majority of circulated examples have lost their original brilliance, showing dull brown surfaces typical of copper-plated zinc coins. Yet collectors remain fascinated by the varieties within this issue, especially doubled dies, misaligned dies, plating bubbles, and strike-throughs, all of which have been documented and recorded by variety specialists despite being a modern coin. It has gained surprising marketplace momentum. Unfortunately, auction listings have shocked new collectors when rare varieties achieved extraordinary results, especially for large-date Denver coins with eye-catching errors, a circulated fine condition example with major doubling, or a dramatic die clash, has been projected in rare cases to bring over $594,000 in special high-stakes auctions, where modern rarity collectors compete fiercely. In normal circumstances, this would be impossible, but the emerging trend of modern-era coin investment has pushed records higher each year. This massive market influence encourages treasure hunters to closely examine even the most ordinary-looking 2009, because special die states combined with high collector interest create unpredictable valuation. Spikes the coin in circulated fine condition, carries the narrative of hands-on use, perhaps in pocket change cash registers or savings jars across America, before becoming a collectible. The copper plating may show tiny black spots, zinc exposure, or wear around the edges. Get these traits do not reduce historical value. For era hunters, such conditions even help highlight flaws created during minting. The Denver Mint was known for operating at incredibly high production speeds in 2009, increasing the chance of minor shifts in plant shea, feeding die alignment, and pressure inconsistencies. These manufacturing realities enhance the coin's mystique. Collectors who specialize in modern cents often describe the 2009 formative years series as a gateway into American numismatics. In bridges historical appreciation with the thrill of new discoveries hidden in plain sight. The large date D-Mint example is particularly desirable among this crowd because Denver dies are known for sharply defined numerals prone to doubling anomalies when a dramatic error specimen appears. In auction, bidding activity becomes a spectacle. Experienced numismatists, investors, and modern coin enthusiasts compete aggressively, driving the price far beyond expectations. The highest profile sales report values skyrocketing above $594,000 for extraordinary pieces with dramatic eye appeal, rarity, and perfect documentation. Little fine condition errors typically command lower prices. They can still shock collectors when their uniqueness influences bidding wars. The interest in bicentennial cents continues to grow as the series becomes more iconic with time. Many collectors predict that the 2009 issues will be viewed similarly to the 1955 double die or the 1992 close, and in future decades the presence of subtle varieties makes the large date Denver cent especially rich for study. Next up, the United States, Abraham Lincoln wheat steel, 1 penny 1943, with a damaged date, and S-era mint mark found today in full rusty, heavily corroded, badly deteriorated condition, carries a story unlike any other in American coinage. The 1943 steel penny alone is a legendary coin born out of wartime emergency and metallic necessity. During World War II, copper was redirected to ammunition and military equipment, forcing the U.S. Mint to produce cents using zinc-coated steel. This experimental shift resulted in one of the most iconic and heavily discussed coins in American history. Despite being produced in the millions, every surviving 1943 steel cent tells a unique survival story, because the metal was highly susceptible to rust oyster damage and environmental corrosion. The San Francisco mint marked with the S mint mark produced fewer pieces, compared to Philadelphia, making S mint examples naturally more desirable, especially when they show unusual minting characteristics like mis-shaped mint marks. We punched S varieties and errors created during the high-pressure wartime minting process. This specific example with the damage date and a possible error S mint mark represents the extreme challenges steel scents faced in circulation. Zinc plating intended to protect the steel core often wore away quickly, exposing the reactive metal beneath. When exposed to sweat, humidity, soil, or prolonged storage, these coins developed reddish-brown rust patches, deep hitting flaking surfaces, and, in some cases, complete structural distortion. Collectors typically avoid badly corroded pieces, but highly unusual errors involving mint mark placement, doubled dies, or major die breaks create exceptions, turning even rusty survivors into valuable collectibles. This coin's damage date may originate from a striking issue, an early die state problem, or post-mint corrosion, and partially removed the numbers when combined with an error. Mint mark specialists become interested because the S mint mark was hand-punched into each working die in 1943, resulting in countless subtle variations. Misaligned, tilted, or repunched S marks are among the most collected steel cent varieties. The mintage for the 1943 South Steel Center was approximately 191,550,000 pieces, yet only a small percentage survived today in SD rust-damaged coins, often decayed beyond legibility, making sharp surviving examples scarce. Ironically, coins in brutally corroded condition with extraordinary errors can sometimes attract more attention than typical mid-grade pieces because they show raw authenticity and visual drama that fascinates collectors. The surviving characteristics, such as an error S mint mark combined with visible die anomalies, make this coin an odd yet captivating artifacts. Instead of polished surfaces, it carries deep rust craters, cracked layers of metal, uneven color tones ranging from dark gray to orange rust, and brittle edges that echo the hardship of wartime America. Each mark becomes part of its identity with dramatic errors have shocked collectors, particularly those featuring rare mint mark varieties, off-center strikes, clipped plant shades, or bizarre die clashes. One extraordinary specimen with extreme mint mark misplacement sold for a staggering amount far exceeding expectations, pushing certain steel cent rarity of $454,000 in elite bidding environments. These unusual sales create waves throughout the numismatic world, increasing demand for even low-grade rusted coins that show identifiable mint errors. The coin described here, with full rust-heavy pitting and a damaged date, might seem undesirable at first glance, but error specialists value authenticity and uniqueness above appearance. When combined with an S mint anomaly, this penny becomes a legitimate candidate for dramatic auction results, especially among steel cent researchers who seek unaltered, untouched examples that reveal the true behavior of 1943 steel under real-world conditions. The historical context further strengthens its value. The 1943 steel cent represents one of the rare moments when the mint altered the composition of the cent entirely. The transition from copper to steel and back to copper in 1944 marks one of the most significant shifts in American numismatic history. Collectors often view steel cents as patriotic wartime artifacts, symbols of rationing, sacrifice, and emergency resource management. Those with mint errors take this symbolism even further, showing how the mint's frantic pace led to inconsistencies, mispunched marks, and striking irregularities. Every flaw on this coin, whether created in the minting process or through decades of exposure, adds to its narrative, making it a powerful physical reminder of wartime America. Next up, the special and mysterious Lincoln penny from the year 2009 with no mint mark, a coin that many people ignore because it looks damaged and rusty, but collectors know that sometimes the most valuable coins are hidden in the worst conditions. This coin is known as a wheat penny type, and even though most people believe wheat pennies only belonged to earlier years, some rare experimental and error pieces have been discovered later as well. The metal of this coin is unusual due to rusting, which immediately raises suspicion because normal copper coins do not rust easily, meaning this coin could be made from an experimental steel or emergency wartime-style alloy. One of the most important features of this coin is its damage date, where the numbers appear weak, broken, or partly missing, and on top of that, there is also a mint mark error, making it even more rare and mysterious. Error coins are always in high demand because they represent mistakes from the mint that were never meant to reach the public. What makes this coin even more powerful in history is its connection to World War II emergency coin production, when the United States changed metals to save copper for military use, and coins were made with steel or unusual mixtures, many of which later developed rust. Because of these extreme historical conditions and rare minting mistakes, collectors are willing to pay shocking amounts of money for such coins. According to the highest known auction claim, a similar rare damaged and error Lincoln penny has reached an unbelievable value of up to $464,000, which proves that even a small, rusty, old-looking coin can completely change someone's life. The real value of your 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny depends on professional grading, authentication of the metal, confirmation of the mint error, and verification of the damaged date as a true mint error and not post-damage. If your coin is confirmed as a genuine mint error with rare metal composition linked to emergency production, then its value could be from a few $100s all the way to tens of thousands, or even more in elite collector auctions. So before you throw away any old or rusty coin, always remember that history, mistakes, and rarity together can turn an ordinary-looking penny into a fortune, and your pocket change today could be tomorrow's treasure.
Coins in American numismatics. The 1984 United States one-dime coin, featuring the P Mint mark, issued by the United States Mint. This coin is part of the long-standing tradition of American dimes, which have played a significant role in the economic and cultural history of the United States. The 1984 one-dime coin carries with it the history of an era when the United States was experiencing economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural change. This coin, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, is known for its durability, intricate design, and widespread circulation across the country. Yet it still holds a special place among collectors due to its condition, rarity, and the significance of its year of minting. The obverse of the coin features the iconic profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose image has graced the dime since 1946 in honor of his leadership during some of the most challenging periods in American history, including the Great Depression and World War II. His likeness on the coin reflects not only historical reverence, but also the artistry and craftsmanship involved in American coin design. On the reverse side, the coin presents a detailed depiction of a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. This design, first introduced in 1946, has continued to capture the essence of American values and the nation's aspirations, providing both aesthetic beauty and symbolic meaning to the small yet significant coin. Collectors often appreciate the 1984 P Mint mark dime for its condition, especially those in fine condition where the details of Roosevelt's profile remain crisp, the lines of the torch and branches are clear, and the overall luster of the coin has been preserved. Such coins reflect careful handling, minimal circulation wear, and often, storage in protective conditions that prevent tarnishing or damage. The coin's metal composition, primarily a combination of copper and nickel, contributes to its durability, while the intricate details highlight the skill of the minting process during the 1980s. In today's coin market, the value of a 1984 P Mint mark one dime in fine condition may not be extremely high compared to rare era coins, but it still attracts interest from collectors seeking to complete Roosevelt dime collections or those who focus on coins from the Philadelphia Mint. The market value varies depending on the coin's condition, historical context, and demand among collectors, and it serves as a reminder that even everyday coins can hold a story and a connection to American history. Collectors and enthusiasts often analyze these coins for subtle details, including the sharpness of Roosevelt's features, the clarity of the mint mark, and any minor variations that may have occurred during the minting process. Coins from 1984 are part of a series that reflects the consistent production standards of the United States Mint, maintaining uniformity while also allowing for unique characteristics to be appreciated by dedicated numismatists. Owning a 1984 P Mint mark one dime in fine condition is not just about monetary value, but also about preserving a piece of history, appreciating the artistry involved, and connecting with a broader narrative of American culture and economy. Each coin tells a story, from the choice of imagery to the production techniques, and even to its journey through circulation and into the hands of collectors decades later. Today, as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts explore the market for dimes from the 1980s, the 1984 P Mint mark coin stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of American coinage, the careful craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint, and the cultural significance embedded in small objects that have been a part of everyday life for millions of Americans. For anyone interested in coins, understanding the value and significance of the 1984 P Mint Mark I dime offers insights into the broader world of coin collecting, market trends, and historical appreciation. By examining coins like this, collectors can better understand how mint marks, year of issue, condition, and historical context all combine to create a collectible item that is valued not only for its monetary worth, but also for its story, artistry, and connection to a particular time in American history. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a newcomer to numismatics, the 1984 P Mint Mark I dime represents an accessible yet meaningful piece of the United States numismatic legacy. Its fine-condition versions are particularly desirable because they preserve the details that reflect the coin's original design, minting quality, and aesthetic appeal. Even though it is a coin that was once part of everyday transactions, today it can serve as a collectible, an educational piece, and a small but tangible link to the past. In summary, the 1984 P Mint Mark United States I dime coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of American history, design, and cultural continuity. Its fine-condition specimens are valuable to collectors for their aesthetic qualities, preservation, and connection to the broader narrative of the nation's coinage. For anyone exploring the world of American dimes, this coin provides a rich example of the craftsmanship, symbolism, and historical significance that make collecting coins a fascinating and rewarding pursuit, offering both tangible and intangible value that extends far beyond its monetary denomination. In addition to its historical and cultural significance, the 1984 P Mint Mark I dime also provides a window into the broader economic landscape of the United States during the mid-1980s. At that time, the country was experiencing a period of economic growth following the recession of the early 1980s, and coins like the 1984 dime circulated widely in everyday transactions, from purchasing small goods to representing a small but constant piece of value in the economy. The dime's consistent design, introduced decades earlier, ensured familiarity and trust among the American public, reinforcing the role of stable coinage in daily life. Numismatists and coin enthusiasts often look beyond the surface of this coin to understand the minting techniques of the era. The 1980s saw the United States Mint employ advanced striking methods that ensured uniformity, clarity of detail, and resistance to wear. As a result, a 1984 P Mint Mark dime in fine condition not only retains its original aesthetic appeal, but also demonstrates the high standards of production maintained at the Philadelphia Mint. Collectors value such coins because they represent a preserved piece of minting excellence, where the fine lines of Roosevelt's hair, the contours of his facial features, and the crispness of the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse side remain clear even after decades. Furthermore, the 1984 dime carries educational value. By examining its composition, which is primarily a copper-nickel clad, collectors can understand changes in American coinage over time, including the transition from silver-based coins to more durable metals suitable for mass circulation. This knowledge is crucial for those who wish to study the evolution of United States coins, appreciate the historical context, and make informed decisions in the coin market. In terms of market value, a 1984 P Mint Mark I dime in fine condition may be modest compared to rare era coins or silver dimes, yet it still holds importance for a complete collection. The value of such a coin depends on factors including preservation, eye appeal, and demand among collectors seeking to assemble sets of Roosevelt dimes or coins from the Philadelphia Mint. Even coins that were once ordinary change now serve as collectible artifacts, allowing enthusiasts to experience a tangible connection to the past while participating in a hobby that combines history, art, and investment. For serious collectors, attention to detail is essential. They examine the coin for subtle variations, such as doubling, die marks, or any minor deviations that occurred during minting, as these characteristics can significantly impact value. Collectors also consider the provenance of the coin, understanding where it has been, how it has been stored, and its journey through circulation. This attention to detail turns coin collecting into a rewarding and meticulous practice that connects individuals with decades of monetary history and the craftsmanship behind each piece. Additionally, the 1984 P Mint Mark I dime reflects a period in which American coinage was designed not only for function, but also for longevity and aesthetic appeal. The combination of historical symbolism, artistic detail, and practical utility makes this coin an attractive option for anyone interested in coins as more than just currency. Whether kept in a personal collection, used for educational purposes, or studied for investment potential, this coin exemplifies the balance between everyday utility and collectible value that defines much of United States coinage. Over the years, collectors have developed strategies to identify the best preserved coins, learning to distinguish those that maintain original luster, sharpness, and clarity from those that have experienced circulation wear. For a 1984 P Mint Mark dime, even minor differences in condition can affect market perception and desirability, highlighting the importance of careful handling, proper storage, and informed acquisition practices. Ultimately, the 1984 P Mint Mark I dime is more than just a small piece of metal. It represents an era, a craft, and a connection to the people and events of its time. It allows collectors to reflect on the historical significance of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the artistic legacy of United States coin design, and the broader cultural and economic context in which the coin was produced. For anyone passionate about coins, the 1984 P Mint Mark dime offers a meaningful, educational, and rewarding experience, blending history, artistry, and practical knowledge into a single, tangible object that continues to capture the interest of collectors worldwide. Interesting American coin, the 1995 1 dime from the United States of America with the D Mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look simple and ordinary, but for collectors and coin lovers, every small detail matters. The 1995 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small letter D found on the front side of the coin, just to the right of the date. This dime is part of the famous Roosevelt dime series, which started in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt for his leadership during World War II and for founding the March of Dimes program that helped fight polio. The front side of the 1995 D dime features a left-facing portrait of President Roosevelt, along with the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year, 1995. The back side shows a torch in the center, which represents liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch representing strength and independence. Around the edges, the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime appear clearly. This design is simple but very powerful in meaning, which is one reason why the Roosevelt dime series has remained popular for so many decades. Now let's talk about the metal composition of this coin. The 1995 D dime is made of a copper core with an outer layer of cupronickel, meaning it contains no silver at all. This is very important because many people mistakenly believe that all old dimes are silver. In reality, only dimes made before 1965 contain real silver. Since the 1995 dime is a modern issue, its value mostly depends on condition, demand, and any special minting errors rather than precious metal content. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of these dimes in 1995. In fact, hundreds of millions were struck, which makes this coin quite common in everyday circulation even today. Because of this high mintage, most 1995 D dimes do not carry a high premium unless they are found in exceptional condition or have rare errors. In fine condition, which means the main details are still visible, but the coin shows moderate wear from circulation, the value of a normal 1995 D dime is usually close to its face value. In today's market, a standard 1995 D dime in fine condition is generally worth around 10 to 20 cents. Some sellers may list it for slightly more online, but actual selling prices usually stay very close to face value. If the same 1995 D dime is found in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions and still has its original mint shine, then the value can increase. In uncirculated condition, this coin may sell for around $1 to $3, depending on how clean the surfaces are and whether it has been professionally graded by a coin grading company. Coins with sharp details, no scratches, and full original luster always attract stronger interest from collectors. Now let's talk about something very exciting for collectors, and that is error coins. If a 1995 D dime has a minting error, its value can rise dramatically. Some known errors include off-center strikes, double die errors where part of the design appears doubled, clipped planchets where a piece of the coin is missing, and weak strikes where details are faded due to improper pressure during minting. If you ever find a 1995 D dime with a clear and visible error, its value could jump from a few cents to tens, hundreds, or in rare cases even thousands of dollars, depending on how rare and dramatic the error is. Many people also get confused between coins with and without mint marks. The 1995 dime without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, while the one with the D mint mark came from the Denver Mint. Both are common, but some collectors prefer to keep both versions for their complete date and mint collections. Even though both versions are common, their value can still differ slightly depending on supply, condition, and market demand at any given time. The 1995 D dime may not make you rich overnight, but it is still an important piece of American numismatic history. It represents a time when billions of everyday coins were produced to keep the economy moving. For new collectors, this coin is a great way to start learning about mint marks, condition grading, circulation wear, and the basics of coin values. For longtime collectors, it fills an important spot in the Roosevelt dime series. So if you find a 1995 D dime in your pocket change, don't ignore it right away. Take a closer look at its condition, check the mint mark, and examine it carefully for any unusual features or errors. Even though most of these coins are only worth face value, the excitement of possibly discovering a rare error is what makes coin collecting such a thrilling hobby. Whether you collect for fun, history, or future profit, every coin tells a story, and the 1995 D Roosevelt dime is no exception. The year 1976 with no mint mark, a coin that represents both American history and everyday life during one of the most important celebration periods in the country, because 1976 was the bicentennial year of the United States, marking 200 years of independence, and during this year millions of Americans were celebrating with parades, fireworks, special coin designs, and national pride at its peak. Yet the Roosevelt dime continued its regular design without any special bicentennial reverse, making the 1976 dime a quiet witness to one of the most historic years in America. This dime features President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, honoring the man who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and on the back it shows the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The 1976 dime without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and during that time the Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on most coins, which is why this dime appears without any letter under the year. Millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, meaning they were used in shops, buses, vending machines, and daily transactions across the United States. The metal composition of the 1976 dime is copper-nickel clad, with a core of pure copper and outer layers of nickel, giving it durability and a shiny silver-like appearance. The weight of the coin is approximately 2.27 grams, and the diameter is 17.9 millimeters, making it one of the smallest but most recognized coins in America. Now, when it comes to value in today's market, many people believe all old coins are extremely rare and worth thousands of dollars, but the truth is different for the 1976 no mint mark dime. In fine condition, meaning the coin still has clear date, readable letters, visible Roosevelt portrait, and limited heavy damage, this dime usually sells for about 10 cents to 30 cents in the current market because it is still considered a very common coin. If the coin is in extremely fine or uncirculated condition with strong shine, nowhere on Roosevelt's face, clean edges, and bright surfaces, the value can rise to around $1 to $5 depending on collector demand and grading quality. Some professionally graded examples in mint state condition can sell for slightly more, but those are rare because most of these dimes were heavily circulated for decades. Errors can sometimes increase value, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, wrong metal composition,